Hey all, Hipper here. So I've kind of made it my journey lately to do as many battles as I possibly can in Gorizia here. Partly because I'm really looking forward to see the ship in the future when Wargaming, as they said they were going to do, are going to give it sap shells. Because right now the problem with this ship is the long reload. I mean, it has 4 turrets and 8 guns. That's okay. That's not bad. But a 15-second reload just makes it pretty bad at what it's supposed to do, which is take out destroyers. Because you will need 2, probably 3 salvos to take out a destroyer. And that means you're pretty much waiting for 45 seconds. And it's hard to finish off destroyers that way. And it's a shame because the ship is a perfect destroyer hunter. It has, the smoke to get up close and personal to a destroyer that's like, for example, capping or something like that. And you have the sonar to, unleash your wrath upon the destroyer once you are in range. And the ship is super agile, so avoiding torpedoes up close is very, very easy. And the only thing it needs is sap shells, which should do quite a lot of damage to a lightly armored destroyer once if you actually hit it, at least with the first salvo. So you might only need a full salvo and then perhaps just 1 turret or 2 turrets to finish off the DD, which is much better than 3 full salvos. That's pretty hard to do. So I think that once sap shells comes into the game, this ship here is going to be an absolute blast to play, and that's why I am putting in some serious effort into it now to get the hang of it and survive this kind of debilitating reload here that it does have, because it is a long reload. And you are not going to set any damage records in this ship here because, at least not the way it is now, because you don't have torpedoes to help pad your numbers, and the fire chance in theory is okay, but setting fires in this ship is difficult, and especially when you have such a long reload, it's hard. And the AP shells, when they hit, they are awesome. I shouldn't say hit, because this is one of the most accurate cruisers in the game, and it's pretty much like Hipper. You will hit at what you're aiming at, but over penetrations are a thing in this ship here, and it can get quite annoying actually. If you remove the annoying over penetrations and the fact that it's hard to get good damage numbers in this ship here, if you can live with that, then it's one of the more entertaining ships to play. Simply because you can be super aggressive in this thing here. Not too aggressive though, because remember, you don't have torpedoes to get yourself out of a one-on-one with a battleship. So that's the one thing you really have to avoid in the ship here. Not because that battleships will just one-shot you or anything like that, but you just cannot pump out the damage fast enough. And I've had many battles in this ship where I've been facing 1 or 2 battleships in the end, and it's just like a Sisyphus thing, because no matter how much you fire on battleships, unless they are like 1% health or something, you will not you will not be able to put out the damage quickly enough to get rid of them in the amount of time you usually have. So that's why I focus on beating destroyers and other cruisers in this thing here, and that it does really, really well. Especially with, as you can see here, I'm using my my smoke to cover my broadside. Once I fire, then I smoke up, and I just hope that the guy stays spotted long enough for me to get up a second salvo, because again, the reload is just so long. And this way you can pretty much stay broadside on another cruiser and get all your guns into the action which you need in this ship here. It's just a must, otherwise it's even harder to pump out the damage. Like I said earlier, you can also use the smoke to ambush destroyers, and I do that a lot. Not in this game here, because this is kind of a funny game I wanted to show you, because in the end this Baltimore and I end up battling it out. But anyway, I will put up some more, you know, destroyer killing battles in this thing here. And it does have a sister ship in the tech tree called Zara, and it's also decent, except it doesn't have the sonar. So it makes it pretty bad at hunting destroyers. But on the other hand, you have torpedoes, so you can punish battleships. But as much as sometimes I really want those torpedoes on Gorizia, I think in the grand scheme of things, I prefer the sonar. So at least I can do my job as a destroyer hunter. Without the sonar, I don't really know what I'm supposed to do in a cruiser. I just sail around and try to torp battleships and stuff like that, and that's not fun. This thing here is fun because, like I said, you can get away with the most outrageous stunts. Like you can just when you start the battle, for example, you can head straight into the cap. Don't care about anyone. First few incoming salvos, you just dodge, and if a destroyer is unlucky enough to be inside the cap, you can. If you're lucky, you can take it out. If you are unlucky, you can get one salvo off, and then you smoke up, and then either the destroyer has to go and kick you out of your smoke, or they have to leave the cap. And kicking you out of smoke is pretty hard when you have sonar. So it's a really good ship for getting in that first cap, and that's like pretty much a core piece of my playstyle, and that's why I like this ship. And also notice here how agile it is. I think this is the most agile cruiser in the game, because the turning circle is nothing. I think it's 500 meters or something like that. The rudder shift is 2 seconds, and the speed is a little bit at 38 knots, I believe it is. I compare that to Amalfi, just one tier up, that's going like 43. I think Wargaming could have put this ship here at 40 knots without breaking the bank, So anyway, we have this annoying Baltimore here, and obviously that's a tier 7, and he doesn't have torpedoes, and neither do I, so we're going to have to battle this out somehow. So I'm trying to catch him unaware, and at the same time make sure I don't get ravaged by these battleships out here, because just one of them catching a glimpse of me means that I have to spend a smoke to save myself, and I don't want to do that. So I'm just staying just enough like out of range of this Vanguard here, so I can stay unspotted, because I'm trying to, like I said, get up and see what I can do to this Baltimore here. As you may know, Baltimore is one of my absolute hate ships, and I never forego a chance to punish someone who plays a Baltimore. And the same thing goes for Cleveland, and I'm sure Des Moines will join that category as well. So I smoke up here, meaning that I can keep punishing this guy here and still try to get on his other side, so I can actually get to Citadel him. And unfortunately, he just drops off there. I almost had him, but he's still a little bit too angled, but I'm spotted anyway. I might as well shoot. And then hopefully he will move in some sort of way that allows me to get in more hits now. So I like these plays here where you annoy like island hiding players in their Baltimores or their Clevelands or whatever, and they force them into actually doing something. And see here how I'm using the rudder to annoy him even more. And like I said, none of us have torpedoes, so this is going to be an absolute gun battle here. And for some reason he's showing broadside there, so I take the opportunity. So that was just what I was waiting for. But obviously I can't show broadside, because he will absolutely Citadel me. And I was hoping to get a lot of Citadels there, but unfortunately I only get one. But it's okay, it's okay. And that was really close, actually. I was kind of expecting overpens there. So now the Baltimore is running away, because I'm way more agile than he is, so there's no way he can turn fast enough to get out of my range and without showing broadside. So he's caught in a pretty bad situation here, and I have my secondaries going off as well, and this is kind of fun. This is why I like to play this ship here, because like it just pretty much every battle something fun happens, or you use your smoke to do something crazy, or your sonar to like take out a destroyer in spectacular fashion or anything like that. But you're not gonna get out of those battles. And speaking of destroyers, incoming torpedoes there, you're not gonna get out of these battles here with 200,000 damage. And well, Kraken is more of a thing because you don't have to actually do that much damage to get a Kraken. But getting like really high damage games is quite difficult, like I said before, because it's not the best damage outputting ship, this one here. So I keep following this Baltimore here. He's the last ship on the map now anyway, and I don't have a kill yet. So we might as well just why not? And I keep shooting AP because I'm kind of hoping that he gets tired of this and turns around so I can Citadel him. But he doesn't, so we just keep firing AP because I don't want to switch to HE and then he just decides to turn around and I miss out on a Citadel that could finish off this battle here. So it drags out a little bit longer than it probably should have, but he is the last ship left, so there's really no point in me going back or doing anything else really. So just about to finish him off here, and that's the final shot there. So Gorizia, I really like this ship, and I think with SAP it's going to be a real pleasure when you can actually destroy those destroyers really, really quickly. And also shows you here that a Kraken doesn't really mean that much. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video here, guys, and I'll see you out there.